Dandadan might be the greatest new gen anime to come out this year. So I'm gonna be honest, I didn't plan on making this video until about 5 hours ago, but I've been thinking about this show all day at work and I need to get these thoughts out before my head explodes. All right, so here's the story, right? Basically, my brother, Bink, and one of my friends, Bonk, have been begging me to watch this new show. And I'm like, bro, what the f is a Dandadan? Sounds like a mafia boss or something. Eventually I crack and I look it up and I see that there's an anime that recently started called Dandadan. I finally started it yesterday and managed to watch all the episodes in one night, which to be fair isn't that hard since there's only 9 episodes out. Now I'm not gonna hold y'all. That shit is fire! I mean, there's so many things I want to say and talk about before I do any of that. Spoiler warning. If you haven't watched the show or care about spoilers, go watch and then come back real quick. Now without further ado, this video is 100% getting copyrighted. Man, who cares? Spin that shit! Alright. We don't need the whole thing. You get the point. This is gas. The premise of the show is that there's this girl who recently got dumped named Momo Ayase, who befriends the shy guy that has no friends named Okurun. His name is technically Ken Takakura, but he's referred to as Okurun in the show because Ayase has a crush on a celebrity with the same name as him, ironically. So in an attempt to not make things awkward, she bestows him the name Okurun. The two are an unlucky pair and have no reason to associate really until one day after Ayase talks to Okurun, they get to debating about aliens versus ghosts and which one is actually real. They dare each other to visit separate locations that will allow the other person to experience a supernatural force. Okurun ends up encountering an evil granny spirit that snatches his meat. Hey, yep. You know, I got some stuff to say, but we'll save it for a little later. Meanwhile, Ayase gets abducted by aliens who also want to snatch her womb. But they end up failing because Okurun appears in the ship Ayase gets kidnapped with and ends up fighting the aliens with the demon granny's powers and gives Ayase a chance to awaken latent psychic abilities. Now, I know that was a big dump of what the but I will do my best to try and break it down. Now, that summary I just read to you is the basic premise of the show. Well, the show so far, and the fact that it revolves around these two and their encounters with the supernatural. Now, as for why the show is so intriguing to me, that's something I'm honestly still trying to figure out myself. From the very first minute of episode 1, we see Ayase deliver a mean-ass kick to her ex-boyfriend, and immediately I was like, wait a minute. We getting down like that? I mean, like, bro, the animation was clean, the character designs were crispy, and none of the quality changes in the episodes after that. I'm not necessarily an animation junkie, but everything from the fights to even just the wonky way the characters move during casual conversation, something about that free-flowing design just drew me in ridiculously fast. In a way, it reminded me of one of my top 5 animes, Mob Psycho 100. Both the animation, character design, and the psychic power premise give it kind of a similar vibe in my head, but Dandadan still carries its own unique style. Aside from the animation, the palette choices throughout each episode are also addicting to look at. In the first episode, there's like really bright clashes of red and blue that are really pleasant to the eye, and that theme persists throughout the whole show, as in the next episodes, the world is covered in a darker gray hue when the duo is attacked by the sumo alien. The show nails the balance between being flashy and vibrant when it really needs to be and being dull and dreary when the scene requires it. Now, I know some of y'all probably don't care about all that, but I eat that shit up. To complement the fire animation and colorways, we also see 2 cool ass abilities from the MCs. Momo's psychic abilities are depicted as her having like 2 giant invisible hands and being able to grab auras of people and objects. I think it's a pretty cool way to give a grounded experience to the viewer, and it helps when she's leveling up her abilities to display what that actually looks like in her head. Meanwhile, Okurun, you know what, I'm just gonna let y'all watch. I know y'all see this power up, right? The mask, the hair, the fit. Like, dog, this shit is so tough. Now, while nice animation is definitely a plus, having a good storyline and excellent characters is another. And this show has both, well, so far. Okurun is a nerdy, shy, but passionate guy that's true to his studies and his morals. I'm not sure what it is, but I just f with his character heavy because even though he whines a lot and makes a lot of mistakes, he'll do anything to protect his friend and seems to have a good head on his shoulders. Again, so far. Momo, on the other hand, seems to be kind of hesitant to accept her feelings about a lot of things, such as her grandma. Pause. I know y'all see how fine Momo's grandma is. I don't know who was cooking this character up in the writer's room, but they did an excellent job. And before I go on a tangent, I'm gonna let y'all go back to it, cause and their relationship and Okura and how she feels about him. But she's also extremely passionate about protecting those that she cares about, and she'll really turn up on a nigga if the time calls for it. Like, yeah. The dynamic between Momo and Okura is unique because they seem to have this like love-hate relationship with each other. Like, Okura literally calls her a bitch for calling him out about the reason he has no friends, and then fights tooth and nail to protect her from danger. And then Momo was blanking on him in front of all her friends and just being super respectful, talking about how she don't give a fuck about what he's talking about. And again, we use her last breath and energy to make sure this nigga's good. Like, bro, I'm watching these scenes and I'm like, huh? I'm like, can y'all pick a side, please? Regardless, though, they make an excellent team and get out of some pretty rough situations. The anime has some pretty great comedic moments that honestly made me laugh out loud, and some romantic moments that are kind of cheesy, but also kind of relatable. Also, can we talk about how Okurun literally has negative riz? Like, I don't understand. This nigga literally had two baddies on him, and he literally managed to fumble both. Clearly, Momo has feelings for him, but you know, she don't want to speak on it, and he is reluctant to speak on it too. And then Shiratori literally tries to kiss this nigga, and he's like, nah, what? I'm cool, nah. Like, what are we talking? You know what? Anyways, moving on. I know this video has been kind of insane glazed, but I do have one gripe with the show, actually, and maybe it's just me being an old head, but like, some of the over-sexualization is kind of insane. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, the first episode has Turbo Granny stealing Okurun's banana, as the show calls it, and the aliens trying to steal Momo's womb. This is not a one-time occurrence, by the way, because in the later episodes, they kill Turbo Granny, but Okurun is still able to transform because she doesn't fully die and store some of her power in his nuts. I'm not playing, y'all. This is literally the story so far. On top of all that, all the aliens seem to either want Okurun's parts or Momo's parts, and it's not bad enough to where like, all right, bro, I can't watch this. You know, I gotta turn off the show. Like, it's just trash. But like, it's taking me out of the experience sometimes because it's like, okay, like we get the point, bro. Like, damn. Nah, I can hear the comments now. Jahmar, your show only has 9 episodes. Nigga, I don't care. These 9 episodes have managed to impress me more than most shows have in the past year. And you know the crazy thing? I don't even know who this nigga from the intro is, and I'm still finna make the video. If it isn't obvious in the video so far, no, I haven't read the manga, and I don't particularly plan on it. I'm not a huge manga person, and typically prefer to stick to anime, especially with the time constraints I have. However, I have heard the manga is fire though, so if y'all want to check that out, I encourage it. All in all, I just thought about making this video because I've been enjoying the show so much and wanted to spread awareness of its existence. I mean, hell, the intro alone has been stuck in my head all day because the shit slaps, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I've been slacking on my next video. We'll see from me being lazy, but I'm still working on the next part in the all-time series. But consider this a little filler arc because I just had to talk about the show. Like, it's literally been on my mind every day. If you haven't seen it already, it's on Netflix. No, I'm not sponsored even on Netflix. If you want to slide me a bag, I'm not sponsored, but it's on Netflix. I think 10 episodes are out, 9, 10, something like that. Go watch it. It's a great time. It's a little weird, but if that's your style, you might enjoy it, especially if you enjoy Mob Psycho. That's all I got though. That's it. I just want to talk to y'all about Dandadan. I hope the show is cool. Go watch it. Bye.